Hello everyone, it is Tree from Lost Time Toys, and today we are going to be discussing the top 10 things that I bought in 2025. It is January 1st, 2026, and I get to have a retrospective over the last year of vintage girl toy collecting. And I wanted to assemble, I guess, two lists. I wanted to assemble the first list, the 10 things that I bought last year that I loved and adored, and it was my top 10. And then I wanted to go into 10 toys that I wanted to buy, that I want to buy in 2026. So a total of 20 items for your viewing pleasure, and we can just talk about how this first year of having this YouTube channel has been for me. I started in July when I really just jump started the channel by beginning the Rainbow Brite Mint in Box challenge, where I was collecting Mattel 1984 to 1986 Rainbow Brite dolls in box. And as you can see behind me, I basically have gotten everything that I wanted. The only thing that's missing is probably the number one item on my 2026 list, and who knows if I'll ever find that item. But let's begin with looking back at 2025 and some of the best toys that I got last year. So I will preface this video by saying my favorite toys that I got in 2026 is not necessarily the items that cost the most, because to me, value is very layered, right? It's nuanced. It's not just the amount of money that you paid for an item, which can be very, very high, but to me, it's the intrinsic value that you derive as a collector. Maybe it's something that is so rare that when you actually purchase it, it satisfies and scratches an itch that you've had as a collector. For me, sometimes the chase is half the fun of collecting. So if you're patient and you look for a long time and you finally come across a toy that you've been looking for years, it's just so satisfying. And that's probably why some of these items are on the list. Another reason why an item might be on the list is not only is the item itself intrinsically brings you a lot of joy, but the methodology by which you found that item has a very unique story. So for a lot of these items, I found in very atypical or non-traditional ways, and because of that, it has a rich story. It has a rich history that I can share with you. And I remember, so when friends come over and look at my collection, I can be like, oh, you won't believe the story of how I got this item. And it's so fun to basically regale them with that story. So that's another reason why a toy might make the list. So without further ado, let's begin my top 10 favorite or top toys of 2025. We'll start off with a toy from the Rose Petal Place line. So this is a line that was made by Kenner in 1984. I think a lot of the toys were released in the mid 1980s, 1985. The first item is PitterPat. So PitterPat is a plush of one of the characters on the show, and this PitterPat has eluded me for so long. It's very rare to see PitterPat on eBay anymore. You might see her on eBay maybe once a year now. It's not that frequent, but it's also not impossible to get her. You just have to be patient. I purchased this PitterPat, I think for like $125 US, but it came after I missed her in an auction and deeply regretted it. But the same seller had another one, so I snagged this right up. And the interesting thing about this one is that it came in a plastic bag that was never removed, and it was from a cereal company. I think it was like either General Mills, or Kellogg's, one of those. So I was very confused. Like, I thought this was released by Kenner. So there's a whole video. I'll link to the video now so you can say, oh, if you're interested in it, you can take a look at it. But it is fabulous. It is She's pink. She's light purple, actually, white, and she has this like beautiful name tag, and I fluffed her right up. So she looks way better than when I just took her out of the plastic bag in the original video. And she has this like satin pink ear. She's just precious. She's so cute. And what I am going to try to do in 2026 is probably install like a floating shelf above my Rose Petal Place display so she can sit and just watch over her flower friends. So that is PitterPat. She is number 10 on my list of the top items that I got last year. Number 9. So this is very interesting. I decided last year that I was going to start collecting all of Rainbow Brite, meaning not just Generation 1, all of it. And I think Generation 3 was 2009. Generation 4 was 2009. And that was a line, I think, released by a company called Playmates. And they're very, very hard to find, especially the horses. So my number 9 is Shimmer. So Shimmer was a horse that was released in 2009. It was copyrighted in 2009. I think it might have been released in 2010. I'm not sure. I think it was sold in Target. But this is such a rare item to find because I think, 1, this line did not sell very well. And 2, the horses in the store were there were very few of them. And the ones that were in the store were often Starlite, the white horse. So you very rarely saw Shimmer. And also, I feel like now, at least in the past year, I have never seen Shimmer in box on eBay, and I've only seen a loose one, which I think my friend Emily, who's this amazing collector up in Dallas, she has a loose one. And I started this channel in July, and I started asking, I was like, I really want to collect 2009, if anyone has any leads. And one of my friends / followers had duplicates of the 2009 horses, and I bought it off of him. He's Texas based, so we have that connection, and he's so sweet. So I got a Shimmer. So like, this is how the horse looks. It's very girly, very feminine, almost like so feminine and girly. A skinny, more slender horse with really long legs and like rich midnight blue and purple streaks in her mane. So this is the packaging. It's the 2009 Rainbow Brite Shimmer horse. Is my number 9. Okay, so what is my number 6? Sorry, number 8. Number 8 is a pony. I started very late into 2025. I started collecting My Little Ponies, and the very first pony that I knew that I had to have was the one that has always enraptured me and enchanted me in so many ways. It is the first pony that I fell in love with when my friend in Connecticut, Nick, showed me some of his collection, and I saw this pony with this like fluffy, puffy, extravagant hair, and that pony is Lavender Lace. So Lavender Lace is a perfume puff pony, and it was a later release, I think, like maybe in the mid to late 80s, but it is a perfume puff pony, and Lavender Lace is just stunning. She's gorgeous. She's like this like muted mauve or purple body, and this rich, beautiful pastel green for her hair and mane. And she has this for her symbol, like a perfume symbol. And I love her pose. Her pose has this like curvilinear shape to her head, so she's always kind of tilting sideways in this like contrapposto-esque pose that is reminiscent of the Greco-Roman tradition. Her forelock is just so beautifully swished, and I just love the hair, how puffy it is. I also have a video of this where I go into this long personal story about the movie Rat Race and the line about Afro whores. But I love her. She's so ridiculous. It's giving me Marie Antoinette, French court, just beautiful, extravagant, rococo majesty. She's so beautiful, and she's my number 8. Okay, Lavender Lace, My Little Pony, number 8 of my favorite toys that I collected in 2025. I got this from a seller in Cairo, Georgia, and she's fabulous, and I love it. I love it. It's not very expensive. I think you can find Lavender Lace for like $25, sometimes $30. It's so worth it. She's absolutely fabulous, and my favorite My Little Pony thing ever, honestly. All right, so that was number 8. Number 7 is, we're going back to Rainbow Brite, because if you guys don't know, Rainbow Brite is my first love. It's the first doll collection that I truly ever wanted to get everything for. I didn't have a single Rainbow Brite doll when I was little, just because I grew up indigent, poor, without funds, and my parents just couldn't afford to get me any dolls. And also, there was also this like weird social stigma where boys shouldn't be collecting dolls or girl toys. But my number 7 doll is a 1997 doll. So this was generation 2 of Rainbow Brite. As you know, in 2025, I wanted to collect all of Rainbow Brite, generation 1s to all the way to generation 5.5. So this doll that I'm about to show you came from a seller. I forgot his name, but I had to basically get a family member, like a family member who was traveling to Martha's Vineyard, and on her way back from Martha's Vineyard to New Jersey, I asked her if she could stop and pick up something in between the border of Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and she did. So this item is, here we go. This is Sparkle Brite, and she's in the box. I did a separate video on her on my YouTube channel, and I think the title of the video is this the rarest Rainbow Brite doll ever? And I maintain that it is. I think this is the most rare Rainbow Brite doll of all time. And the reason why is because they made so few of this, because this is basically the African American equivalent of the Rainbow Brite larger doll in 1997. So the fact that this was released is interesting, and it's even more interesting that this seller in, I think it was New Bedford, Massachusetts, or Cranston, Rhode Island, had this doll, and a family member picked it up for me. It was a shiny penny. I will say that I think I spent $200 for this. $200 for this doll. It is new in box. I think open the top of it to show you on the video what she looks like, but it's totally unique. And I know that a lot of criticism about 1997 generation 2 is that they don't look anything like the Rainbow Brite that we grew up with. True, it's a modern take, and it's very 90s. It's very neon, and they have grown on me, and I love them now, and I love that this is such a unique piece, and the story is also interesting, because I think I communicated and paid this seller almost 2 months before my family member could pick it up. And the reason why I did that was because I did not want to pay, I think it was like $90 to ship it, because the shipping charges that they quoted was $90, and I think the original price was like $250 or something like that. I ended up getting this doll for, I think, $180 or $200, and my family member shipped it for free. They had extra stamps. So this is my number 7 favorite things that I got this year. It is this Sparkle Brite from Rainbow Brite, 1997. So now we are moving into the top 6 items that I got in 2025. And I'm looking at my list here, and yes, This item, it's a Polly Pocket item, and it is an item that I was looking at for months. It is by far the most expensive Polly Pocket that I have ever gotten, and I know that value is not just how much money you spent on it, but it is also sentimentally my most precious Polly Pocket, because it took everything, all of my energy, emotional wherewithal to find this and to accept that I was going to pay $300 for one single toy. This is Pollyville's Children's Hospital. So I did a video with my friend Jay where we go in depth and looked at the inside of this Polly Pocket. It is a very unique later release Pollyville. So I think it was released in like 1995 or 1996. It's a later release, and it is light up. So if you hit the little hedge here, it will light up, and it is so modern. It is like, it almost looks like a Frank Lloyd Wright architectural building, but it comes with so many pieces. I won't show you all the pieces, but there's like 5 characters and like 3 accessories, and it's just over the top, and it's gorgeous. I spent $300 for this, and I don't really regret it. To be honest, it's expensive, but it is a it's a showstopper. It's not a showstopper, but it's something that every time someone comes over and looks at my Polly Pocket collection, I say, hey, like, I have this Children's Hospital. It's very rare, and I really love it. And I open it up, I swivel open the doors, and I give them the tour of the hospital. So I love it. You don't have to love it, but I love it, and it means a lot to me. So that is my number 6 item of 2025. Okay, now we are moving into the top 5, and my number 5 most cherished item is, we're going back to Rose Petal Place. I know, I will admit to you, Rose Petal Place is not very well beloved, just because it's not well known. And every time I post Rose Petal Place videos, it just has 0 engagement because no one knows what it is. But I'm still gonna like stand my truth and say that I love this toy line, and I love it so much that I will continue to talk about it. Here we go. It is a Kenner line, and it was released again in 1984, 1985. And the number 5 item is this ceramic porcelain jewelry trinket box that I got. I posted this video of how I got this. It was an impossible item to get because it was an online estate auction whereby the auctioneer would not ship. And it was in West Virginia, like the deep Appalachia mountains in West Virginia. And I had to basically I started spamming people on Facebook, which is probably against Facebook's policy, but I spammed them, and I spammed like over 100 people, and one delightfully lovely soul got this for me, and I paid them $50 in addition just for their time to pack it and send it to me. But I got this item, I think, for $3. It ended up being like closer to 100 once you factor in like I had to pay for shipping, I had to pay $50 for the person. But I think it was like $80 to get this, when it probably sells on eBay with tax and shipping for everything for over 200. I think I got a steal. And I already showed you how cute it was, but look at how cute she is. Okay, it is Rose Petal Place reading a book in her tufted rose bed, and you can remove it. I actually think it's on the wrong side. It's supposed to be like this. This is the proper side. This is the actual bed. I had it on the wrong side. But one of my top items of the year. It is so precious. It's a jewelry, but you can keep your precious jewel. I actually might keep some of my Lady Lovely locks, like trinkets and brushes and stuff in here, just because that line has so many accessories, and I just refuse to handle it. So this is my number 5 item. We'll move straight into my number 4. Number 4, are we ready for it? Again, this was an online estate auction, and it was, I'll show you what it is right now. I don't care. It's a 1986 Mattel hard body Starlite horse. Okay, I don't want to like gloat, but isn't this magnificent? Isn't this the most beautiful thing you have ever seen in your life, guys? It is a hard body, flocked. He is flocked. He's a white flocked horse from Mattel in 1986. It is part of the last waves of Mattel Rainbow Brite. So this came out the same year as Moonglow, as Tickled Pink, as Dress Up Rainbow Brite. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And not only is it gorgeous, it comes with the original accessories. I have the comb. I have the saddle, this like felt red saddle. I have this gold rain thing that ties around his head. And I will admit that I have twice now retro-brighted the skin of this horse. So he is looking really fresh, really spectacular. And I think this, I wanted to tell this story one more time. I purchased this, I think, for $60 US. This is worth way more than $60. But I bid on it in a online estate auction that literally had a picture of it kind of buried in a cardboard box. You couldn't see the condition. Like, they wouldn't tell you the condition. There were no additional photos, but I was chancing it. It came with like a bunch of other random toys, like a Victorian doll that I'm really scared because I think it's haunted. That's in a different room, and a Furby that's still in box. I just kept it to the side. I'm not dealing with that. So I bought it, worth every penny. And I think to ship it was like $30. So and I ended up paying like close to over $100 for this, but still a steal because a friend of mine who lives, I don't know where she lives. Her name is Cassandra. She has one. I think she spent a shiny penny for it. She might have spent over $200 for it. Totally worth it. I would love to have it in box, but it's one of the few items that I don't have in box right now. But I have it loose, and I honestly think this looks better than some of the Starlights that I've seen in box. No shade to the other people, but I think it looks, the quality is better. Just my 2 cents there. Sorry to those who have subpar condition Starlights in box. All right. What number was that? I think that was my number 4. And my number 2 is... my room is a mess, but I'm still going to flip. It's the Berry Happy Home. So the Berry Happy Home, I'm going to swivel it really quick. You guys are going to... This is a mess. My room is a mess. I'm still organizing. Don't judge me. Do you see it? That is the house, the Berry Happy House. It is a 1983, 84, 85 strawberry shortcake dollhouse. Okay, I'm swivel back. That is the house. It is a 1980s dollhouse by Kenner. And again, I did a whole video of how I restored that Happy Berry house to its current state. It was very, very orange. Like the entire floor, the plastic floor had turned from pink to this deep, deep orange. And I had to retro-brite it for 3 weeks. But I purchased it it was a shiny penny. It was like $350, but it came with, I think, 90% of the accessories. And over time, I started collecting more accessories. And now it has all of the basic furniture. Okay, so I'm very excited about that. But I drove myself, someone who literally just learned how to drive in the last 5 years, because I moved from New York back to Texas. I drove all the way basically to like Galveston, Texas, which is like an hour and like 30 minutes away. And I got this Happy Berry home and I retro-brited. It was a source of love, a source of love and a labor of love, because I had to physically restore it, and it took forever, but it is so worth it. And it's on a huge coffee table in my collection room because there's no other way to display this thing. I'm sorry to say, but I love it. And during the Christmas time, as you see, I still have some of the Christmas decor up. I put some fake snow, a flock tree, some Christmas ornaments and lights on it. Fabulous. I love it. It is my number 3. Is it my number 3? I'm trying to remember here. I did write a list, but in my mind, I also started like shifting it around, which is a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea to shift things around because you get disoriented. But let us go to my number 2 item. It is a Lady Lovely Locks item. Actually, it's a twofer, really, but I'm only going to be discussing one item. There are certain playsets in Lady Lovely Locks that only came out late in the line. I think these came out in like 1985, like 1987 or 1988. My dearest friend Rosa helped me get these items, and I also got them for my friend Jay. One is the throne, the beauty throne, which I will probably do a separate video on. It is here. Again, it's a mess. I don't care. I'm just gonna show it to you because why not? All right. Do you see the throne? Let me see. You see the throne? I can't even see. There it is. You see the throne right here? There. That's the throne. I worked my little tail off to retro bright it because, again, it was sun damaged beyond belief. It was orange, and now it's restored. It's still kind of rickety because some of the pegs broke off. The Lady Lovely Lux playsets are not made with the highest quality, so all of the pegs break off. So one door is just literally falling off. So I need to super glue it, but that's a story for another day. The other item I wanted to show you that is tied for my number 2 is another Lady Lovely Lux set. And it's new in box. What is it? It still has it still has like the bubble wrap on it. So I'll open that up for you right now. This is the lovely Lady Lovely Locks. I keep saying it incorrectly. This is the Swan boat, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very rare set. I don't know whether it was released in the United States. I know the throne was only released in Europe. But this is very rare and hard to find. And one thing I'll add that happened in 2025 is that around August, September, when the de minimis rule went out of effect for US tariffs, to get any items from outside of the United States into the country, and if it was not declared as a gift and under $100, you could pay up to $200 US to receive the item, depending on the carrier and whether they're in a fanciful mood. So I stopped buying things on eBay from other countries. I just did not want to be hit with a crazy, ridiculous tariff. But it took like 3 months, but my friend Rosa was finally able to ship from Spain, and she got this for me. I think this was either, I need to look at my notes, but I think I paid, it wasn't cheap, but it was a lot cheaper to get it in Europe than to get it in the United States. Because but anyways, this is new in box. I want you to take a look at it. I haven't opened this. I'm opening this live with you guys. Literally, it is a brand new box, and this is the way that the playset looks. It is a Swan boat. So it is made from this like plastic material that feels a little rubbery, and it's pearlized and iridescent. I also gifted one to my friend Jay just because we love Lady Lovely Locks. It is such a girly, fun 1980s line. It's probably in my top 3 favorite lines of all time. The other 2 being Rainbow Brite, which I adore, and Polly Pocket. But I have the Swan boat, so I will open this up maybe in another video, and I'll display it on my Lady Lovely Locks bookshelf. So that is my number 2 item, tied with the throne, because I kind of lumped them together. They're the later playsets by Mattel, Lady Lovely Locks, like 1987, 1988. So yeah, that is my number 2. And my number 1 item is the Rainbow Brite color castle that I got in box. So do you see it? It's like above my head. There she is. So the story about this item is it is the single most expensive toy that I have ever gotten in my life. The Color Castle, which was released by, I think, Toy Play in 2004. I think it was sold maybe in Hot Topic or Hallmark, one of those stores. To be honest, I don't know because I wasn't actively collecting until 2024. But this is a light up musical. I think it's called the Light Up Musical Castle. It is the Color Castle from Rainbow Brite. Is very, I think it's a rare item. And it shows up on eBay loose. It shows up on eBay loose maybe once a year. And the loose ones go for $250. This one I paid after tax and shipping like $550 for it. And to be honest, I don't regret it. I don't at all. There are some things that I regret, like I do have buyer's remorse on some of my items. I'm looking at some of them right now, but this one, no buyer's remorse. I love the Color Castle. I do. Sue me. I love it. There is a loose one. I also bought a loose one. I bought it from simultaneously to the time that I got the minted box Color Castle. A friend in Mexico sent me this Color Castle. So I have a loose one and I have an inbox one. And the inbox one, you periodically will see inbox Rainbow Brite, but the condition is not as good as this one. Mine, right, boom, mint. There are almost no creases on it. It looks fabulous. The front paneling is perfectly straight. The plastic clear window in the front is pristine. I cherish it, and when you hit the button, it lights up and it plays music. I do have a video on both the loose and the inbox one, so you can totally take a look at that if it interests you. The only toy that was in my top 10 list today that I have not have a separate video on is the throne and the Swan boat, which I should be able to create a video of unboxing this Swan boat for you guys later. So yeah, that is a summary of the top 10 toys that I got in 2025, and I have a list of 7 things. Okay. I have a list of 7 things that I want to get in 2026. Let me look to make sure it's correct. Okay, I'm just adding another one because as I was discussing this, I just realized, girl, I need this. Okay. Looking at this. Oh, there's another one that I just thought of. We're going live here, guys. It's live. Okay. I have to look around to see whether I have accommodated all of the lines of toys that I collect. Pretty much. So I have 9 items on this list. And some of them are hard to find, but should be inexpensive. Like some of them, like I feel like if they ever show up online, I could get it for $30. And I'll tell you which ones are going to be more expensive and which ones are going to be ridiculously overpriced. So the things that I want to get in 2026 are, number 9, I want to get, I want to start collecting in earnest Moondreamers, right? So I want to collect, there's this one doll called Celeste, and she comes with this like dragon. It's not a dragon boat, but it's basically a dragon chariot called Galaxia. So it's Celeste and Galaxia from the Moondreamers Hasbro 1986-ish. I want to get that. I think it is sold online, but it's like $200, and they're usually missing accessories for the dragon. So that is one of the items I want to get from Moondreamers. So that is my number 9. And my number 8 is I want to get a Polly Pocket set that is in Pollyville. It is a later set, I think like 1997 or 1996. It is called Bowling Alley. It is so hard to find, and it's even harder to find now that you cannot buy from the UK without paying ridiculous tariffs and import fees, and I'm not going to chance it. So this item sells consistently for like $300 US, and then you have to pay for the additional shipping and imports. It is so rare because it is a later release at the tail end of Pollyville. You can see, if you can Google it and show a photo of it. It is basically a bowling alley with two figures, one of which has like this golden shirt, and it has like a plastic like bowling alley sign with bowling balls on top of it. And then what you do is you can like swivel. Once you open the playset, you can swivel like this knob, and it mimics the ball rolling down the lane, which is amazing. So that is probably that's the only Polly Pocket that's on my list that I like really want to find in 2026. Okay, that was number 8, and number 7 is an inbox Starlite. So I showed you the loose Starlite that I have. I want to find a Starlite inbox. I do have a Sunriser inbox that I paid a very shiny penny for, but I don't have Starlite inbox, the hard body Starlite. I have a plush Starlite inbox. I don't have the hard body Starlite inbox. Number 6 is, as you know, I started collecting Wee Lil Miss, and honestly, in my hearts of hearts, I overpaid on 2 of the boxes. Yes. No, I overpaid on 3 of the boxes. So I ended up paying like $60 for some of these like Wave 2 makeup boxes, and I honestly should have, like, why did I do that? There was only one that I paid $85 for, which I'll show you. Like, I only started doing 2 unboxings, so I have 5 more to show you. There's one doll that was worth it. Okay, it's called Nail Polish, and it's the African American version. I paid $85 for that one. That was worth it. But the other 3 in the makeup line, I should not have paid $60 for it. I should have just like tried to find them for $30, even incomplete, because like once you remove them from the box, it doesn't have a plastic cover. So it's basically it's as if you just got it loose. So that was a regret, but this is not a regret list. The things I want to find, I'm missing 3 African American dolls from the Wee Lil Miss, so the 7-inch versions of Little Miss. I'm missing 3 African American versions, and I would love to find them in 2026. I think one of them is Ballerina, one of them is like a makeup one, and one of them is also in the series 1. I forget which one it is. I don't think it's roller skating. I think it might be the bedtime one. So I think Ballerina, bedtime, and one of the makeup ones. Maybe not eyeshadow, maybe lipstick. Delon from France, please tell me if I'm wrong. I'm missing those 3, so I'm gonna lump those into my number 6. Was that my number 6? So which ones am I missing? Because I number these, but then it's not ranked in the order that I want, so I have to like piecemeal go back and renumber everything. Okay, so my number 5 is a My Little Pony. This is Oakley the Moose. So it is I think the second wave of pony friends that came out, and Oakley goes consistently for like $200 to $250 US. I'm trying to find him or her at a good deal. The thing that I love the most about Oakley is that he or she has the moose antlers, and the body is light purple, and the hair is this like firefly blue, and I love it. I want Oakley, the My Little Pony friend. Very hard to find. A lot of the Wave 2 pony friends are very hard to find, and Oakley is no exception. But I watched a video from my favorite YouTuber, Lao Sky Painter, and she got an Oakley this past year, and I fell in love. I absolutely fell in love with that. My number 4 item that I really want in 2026 is actually should be inexpensive, right? It is the Peppermint Rose bunnies, the little perfume holders. I think they're called Sweet Spray. I'm missing one of them, and it's the purple one. So let me see. Do you see them? There. See, these are sweet sprays. I have 2. I have like a pink one and a white one. I'm missing the one that belongs to Lemon Kiss Lily, the purple one. I saw one on Facebook Marketplace. This is so annoying. I saw one on Facebook Marketplace from this lady in Kentucky, and she would not ship it to me. $15. I think I was like, hey, I'll buy it for you for $50. She just won't ship it. And it's an exasperating story, and like obviously sellers have full right about how they want to sell their item, but it was on Facebook Marketplace for like 3 months, and it finally just disappeared one day. Someone must have taken it. So I would love to find in 2026 the purple perfume spray bunny from Peppermint Rose 1992-1993 by Mattel. All right, number 3. I would love to find, I think this was released in the late 80s, like maybe 1989. There's a Rainbow Brite roller coaster. It's like one of those things that like there's 3 little plastic carts, and it goes on a track around and around, and it's Rainbow Brite themed. It is very, very hard to find in the United States. I think predominantly they were sold in, I don't know, the ones I've seen historically were in Europe, but there was one that was sold in the Rainbow Land Museum auction by Katie in 2023. My friend Ronnie in Ohio purchased it for like $300. It's very rare. It's very hard to find, and it's the Rainbow Brite roller coaster. That is my number 3. My number 2 item is, we're going back to Moondreamers. So along with Celeste and Galaxia, the dragon, there are 2 playsets by Moondreamers, and they're both very, very hard to find. One is, I think, called the Drifter. It's like this boat with sails. I think that one consistently goes for like $250. And there's another one called Dream Central, which consistently goes for like $400, $500. They're very expensive. I don't think they're hard to find, they're just very expensive. I think Moondreamers is that case where it's not rare, the items are just expensive. They are glow in the dark. It is it's a cult line, meaning people, they're not widely known, but in the collector's world, they are beloved and they are cherished, and they do have like a social premium if you collect Moondreamers. But I don't care about social premium. I only care about my personal enjoyment from the doll, and I think they're adorable. I think that the fact that they glow in the dark and they're space themed, I love. So that is on my list. And one item that I'm just going to slot in because it just came to me now, item 1.5 in 2026 that I want to get is, I might start collecting She-Ra. There is this playset called Crystal Falls. It's like this like pink playset that looks like there's like seashells. You could put like mermaids. I think there's a doll called Mermista that you can like put on one of the shells. It's like this beautiful girly playset with like fountains. It's just divine. I actually thought before I started collecting Lady Lovelocks, I thought it was like a Lady Lovelocks playset just because it reminds me of like the Sea Magic Salon so much. But it is it's a She-Ra playset. I think it's called Crystal Falls. That's my 1.5. I just wedged that in there. So we ended up with 10 items after all. My list started from 7, and as I'm talking and started writing, we have 10 items. So my number 1 item that I would love to find in 2026, it is my ultimate grail. If you look over my shoulder, where is it? Do you see it? That is a Moonglow. That is a loose Moonglow. It is a Rainbow Brite doll that was released only in Germany. In Germany, she's called Sandra Silbermond. And I wonder whether that translates to Sandra Silvermoon. Not sure. But it was released by Mattel in 1986, only in Germany. I have Moonglow loose. My friend Rosa also helped me get my first Moonglow. God bless you, Rosa. But I always wanted her in box. And to my understanding, there are only 2 people that have her in the box. One is the former owner of the Rainbow Land Museum, Katie, who now lives in Europe. That's one of the few items she took with her. She did not sell it in her auction. And my friend Ronnie has her that he bought from Lulu Berlu from a Belgian collector in 2023. I believe he paid I think he paid over $2,000 for her, but I'm trying to I don't know the specifics, but she's so rare, and until I find her even remotely for sale, I might consider just making my own box with a tickled pink box. But yeah, Moonglow in box, 1986 by Mattel, only released in Germany, is a grail item, and it's gonna be my number 1 item until I find her. And I may die never finding her, but that's okay. In my view, when you're collecting vintage toy items, sometimes the most exciting thing is it's the want. It's the desire, the yearning, the pining over an item, and sometimes you may never get it. That was how I felt about. Let me show you. There's a black doll up there, by Peppermint Rose. It's called Merriment Violet, and she was my grail for the longest time, but I finally bought her for a really good price, I think. And she only goes online every 2 years or so. So the fact that I have her, I'm so blessed. But who knows if I'll ever find the items on this list. I think there's a good mix of items that are very achievable, meaning like I can get it today if I'm willing to shell out the money to pay it. And there's items that are just impossible to get, like the Starlite the hard body Starlite inbox. That comes up once a blue moon, and then I may never see a Moonglow inbox. I just may never do it. And there's some items that I don't think they're gonna be expensive, like the purple sweet spray bunny from Peppermint Rose. It's just so infrequently that it shows up online. So that is my top 10 items that I want to get in 2026. I also started this video with the top 10 items that I collected into 2025. But if you guys have any questions for me, I'm very transparent. I'm very open with my feelings. I have a lot of opinions about vintage girl toy collecting. And I collect, I said it before, this is not an investment for me. I don't collect vintage girl toys as a financial investment. There are better vehicles in which you can invest your money. Stocks, the US stock market, ETFs, mutual funds. You could diversify with different sets of assets that are not like, you can get like bonds. You can like, there's no need to buy non-liquid or illiquid items like toys as an investment. I think it's a fool's errand. You can buy multiple items of something as an investment, but one of them, like I have a friend that buys 2 of every items that he buys from new toys because he knows that, oh, I'm gonna want to have duplicates of this later on. And that's probably how my friend in Texas had a duplicate of Shimmer. So he had the wherewithal and the forethought to like, I'm gonna buy 2, and that's fine. But I don't think you should view buying vintage toys, like non-current toys, as a financial investment. I think it's kind of silly, because you can't take it with you. I mean, that's a mantra that I've lived forever. Like when you die, these items will mean so much less to your children and your progeny than you. And they are burdened with the very difficult reality of, should I sell my parents or my family members' items, or should I keep it, even if I don't love it myself personally? So I don't want to burden my family with any of that. So this is not a financial investment. They could keep, if I die, they can keep whatever they want here. But I do have a spreadsheet that marks down the date, the seller, how much I purchased it for. And ideally, I would love to have a true current estimate value of the items that I have in my collection. But again, it is not an investment vehicle, and it shouldn't be, because I shouldn't project to other people. My collecting journey is personal, and it's based on like a happiness quotient. I only collect to either heal myself, my inner childhood, or to just for my intrinsic pleasure of collecting things that I think are aesthetically beautiful. So I rambled on for way too long, but I hope this video is interesting to you and your 2026 brings you so much joy, happiness, and fulfillment. And let's continue this journey together. All right, I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.